Yeah, it's kind of a mess around here with a blizzard.
And pour and a safeguard and actually 1 to 3 times spring, summer, and fall. Steered up, nice steers.
So before we head out today to go down to Lanesboro, we got to plow snow. And this week's video, we're going to run down to Lanesboro, Minnesota, and hopefully talk to the guys at Lanesboro. But I'm taking my daughter down because she loves the cattle and she's excited about, you know, she wanted to see a livestock auction. So we're going to head down to Lanesboro, which would be our closest sale yard or auction yard. And yeah, but before we go, got to plow snow. And I use the 8200 to plow snow. So I use the back blade to plow snow with. Generally, it works just fine. It's either that or sit out on an open station loader tractor. No thanks. Even though it's a little, seems like a little too big for this, you know, this tractor seems a little too big when you get these big drifts every now and then. Boy, it's pretty nice to have, you know, a big tractor, because there's some drifts I couldn't get. So we gotta get the manure out. So yeah, it drifted right in. So we have these big drifts in a lot of places. I bet you it had to be 10 inches of snow. But other spots, like back here by the bins, there's not much. But it drifted right up by the barn, so, you know, hard to wheelbarrow the manure out. You can see the manure pile back there. That's what we've been doing all winter. A couple weeks, we'll haul that out. I wanted to wait as long as we can because I want to haul most of it at one time and then clean the spreader back up. But yeah, look around the bins and stuff. Yeah, there's not much. I hesitate to do a lot of plowing just because we're peeling up so much gravel, grass, and just making a mess because it is so wet. The ground had thawed out, and then we got, you know, 1.5 inches of rain, and then get all this snow. It's just, yeah, it's a bad deal. But that's how it goes. So I'm just kind of plowing it off. Yeah, we really made a mess of the driveway there. Great. But if we don't do any of this, it's really going to make a mess of the whole driveway. So I got Charlie with. If you don't know Charlie, Charlie is my autistic little guy. He is my tractor buddy. Right, Charlie? Charlie, you say hi? Charlie, you say hi? Yeah. Charlie. Hey, farmer. Yeah, you like that, don't you? We're doing a little off-roading. Yeah. Well, you guys get it. We had to plow snow. We got to be able to get to the hay and straw. So we got a hay stack there, and we got straw. And the grain truck is full of straw. Gonna need the manure spreader out soon. Hey, girls. What were you doing in the snow, huh? All right, so you know where we're going today?
No.
Lanesboro, so hurry up.
Okay.
You know what Lanesboro is?
Maybe.
Okay. So the door was only open like a couple feet, and I forgot, and look at how much snow drifted in. Like, this was a storm, but moved enough that we're okay. But yeah, I might have to take the skid loader or the 856 and try and dig through those drifts. They're gonna take forever to melt. I don't know, it's supposed to be 60 coming up here, but I don't know. So maybe we'll try it again. You know, some of this ice will melt a little bit, and maybe I can keep pushing it with the 8200. But wow, I don't even know how I get the skid loader out. It's in there. All right, so we're down here at Lanesboro. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go in and watch some cattle sell. Keep your hand down.
Now 40 now 50 now 50 now 560 and now 850 now 90 50 now 90 50 now 209 and a half now 10 and now 10 now 11
So these are what you want. You want Charlie, don't you?
Yeah.
Bring your checkbook? Oh, okay.
You're all 332 and 330 and down to it again, and down to it again, and down to it again, 330 to it again, back 35 and now to it again, 335.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
All right. So here we are. I always enjoyed seeing all the trucks and trailers lined up, you know, when there's gonna be when they're having a livestock sale. So being we were down here, we stopped at Preston. This is, I think, the last single store Deere dealership left in Minnesota. So yeah, we gotta drive through the lot. You're supposed to be looking at hay and equipment now and manure spreaders because you're a cattle farmer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What kind of hay and equipment do we got?
I should remember.
Okay. So this was your spring break trip. We went to Lanesboro, Minnesota. You had asked me if I had ever been to a livestock auction, and I said, well, yeah, I've been to a livestock auction. When I was younger, I would go down to the dairy sale in Zumbrota, Minnesota, and I was like, we should go to an auction barn. And I guess most of my friends now go to Lanesboro, and I guess that had something to do with so the Zumbrota livestock auction market sold to Central Livestock, and Central Livestock was out of South St. Paul when I was a kid, and they sold to Central, and then they kind of started buying and selling some cattle or something, and anyways, I guess they got hooked up with Lanesboro maybe, and so a lot of guys are heading down to Lanesboro, and I guess I had never been there, and I was like, well, that'd be kind of cool to go down and see. And what a, nice drive, neat place. But yeah, when I was 14, I started buying heifer calves to build up my herd, my dairy cows, and I can remember being 16 and going down to Zumbrota to the dairy sale. Don would go down there a lot. Don hauled all his own cattle, for the most part, I guess. He loved doing it. He had a gooseneck trailer, and way back 1980, I guess, he had a gooseneck trailer and pulled it with an 80 GMC. But as time went on, then he upgraded trailers. He had an 88 F250 with a 460 and a 5-speed for a while. He had a bunch of Chevys, and then he in 1994 he bought a brand new 94 Dodge, the new body style of the brand new Dodges with the 12 valve Cummins in it. And boy, we really thought that was something else. And Don liked hauling cattle with that, and aluminum cattle trailer and that. So we really enjoyed that. I remember him telling me, now I don't know if this is true or not, but he said at the time, so he traded in a Chevy in on that 94 Dodge, and he said at the time, Chevy, if you put they said if you put a gooseneck hitch in the Chevy diesel, they weren't going to warranty it. And I suppose that would have been the 6.5 turbo back then. But he bought the Dodge, and the Dodge was great. Still pretty partial to the Dodge pickups to this day, I guess. This is our 3/4 ton Dodge. This one's a 5.7 Hemi though, but we got a 1-ton regular axle Cummins that is kind of my favorite pickup I've ever owned. We don't drive that if it's salty out, so we took the 3/4 ton Hemi down here, and I don't know. I think my daughter likes this pickup best of all of them, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty fond of this one. But that's why we went down to Lanesboro. I guess, I didn't even realize it, but the Central is still having auctions there in Zumbrota, and I guess Haas is still doing things in Cannon Falls. So a lot of those buyers and stuff at one time were in South St. Paul, and because South St. Paul would have been the closest to us, and they were the biggest stockyards in the country at one time. And I remember going up there with Don, hauling a load of hogs in the 1980 3/4 ton or 1-ton Ford with a stock rack on it, and selling the pigs and getting the check and going to Stockman's truck stop and Tractor Supply, and kind of good memories. But I remember those stockyards were huge. I mean, it seemed like they went on for miles. From I-494, you could look out all over them, and it was big. And today that's all been swallowed up by it's all city. But a lot of things changed with livestock, where trucks and trailers, you could move livestock. So they moved slaughter plants. They didn't have to have the cattle and as close to the slaughter plants as back then. And I don't know, it just kind of changed. You don't see big stockyards the way you used to all over. I mean, I don't think Chicago has one. I don't think Omaha does. But it was a lot of fun going down there and to Lanesboro today. I always enjoyed going to the, going down to Zumbrota and watching cattle sell. I enjoyed that. If you've never been, go just to see it done. Wouldn't you say that was your first time, right?
Yeah.
You had a lot of fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now she wants to come back with this pickup and a trailer, right? And some money. Yeah. Well, you better keep working. No, I enjoyed that. And when she asked me, this was probably a month ago or a couple of weeks ago, if I'd ever been to a cattle auction. She said, she didn't say livestock. They do this. They used to do the same thing with pigs, and I don't think they auction off hogs the way they used to. I think most hogs are contract, but back in the day they'd sell all kinds of hogs just like they were selling cattle. You know that? They'd have groups that you'd bring a group of pigs up, and you'd have sows or boars or market hogs or feeder pigs, and it would be just like that. But most hogs now are all contracted, integrated, but in where we're at, when it was all dairy country though, it wasn't all just livestock auction like barns. There were a lot of livestock auctions. So local auctioneers would come out, and if you were selling dairy cattle, they would have an auction. They'd set up a ring on your farm, and then everybody would come out there and buy your cattle that way. When I sold the cows, I almost had an auction. Matter of fact, talked to the local auctioneer, and I had a guy call me and say, if you're selling cows, we'll just buy them. And then the young stock, I just put an ad in the paper, and they were sold. So we never ended up doing that. But yeah, that was, I mean, dairy cattle. And, you know, it wasn't a sad deal. Like, you know, you think, oh, an auction. Because a lot of these guys were retiring and they were, you know, kind of, I would say, for the most part, they were probably happy to retire. Like it was their shot to slow down in life, and a lot of them didn't quit farming. They just cropped or whatever, fed some steers or got beef cattle, but they were just getting out of dairy, or you know, or they'd retire and another guy would come in there and milk cows, and then that just stopped. So I guess that's something you just aren't seeing anymore, and I don't know. I think most of the dairy cattle that are left in our area, when they sell dairy cattle, I think they go to Withee, Wisconsin, I believe, to Premier. A lot of guys send cattle there. You know, I guess I always sold like bull calves and stuff. Well, I had some people that would privately buy bull calves, but for the most part, like cull cows and bull calves, if I didn't have somebody that was buying them, I just let Larry Pete take them where he thought they should go, and I guess a lot of times that was South St. Paul, and then when that ended, he would take them to Cannon Falls, or occasionally Zumbrota. But yeah, a lot of my friends now are going to Lanesboro, and that's why I was like, we should go down there. And you know, it's good to see small livestock, and you know, it seems like there's a lot of interest in it, and I think that's great. I'm enjoying this a lot. So then we hung out at Lanesboro for a couple hours, and then we stopped and looked at some machinery, because if you're going to drive by, you know, machinery, you got to stop and look at some implements. I'll have to add a clip in there of a TikTok I did going through Hamel equipment. They had some neat old stuff. But we did that, then we stopped, and we got Epernecks in Rochester for the big heifer. She needs to get, she's itching and scratching. The other two are just dipped 3.5 months ago.
Yeah.
So she's due. So we're gonna get her done. But yeah, I wanted to do this because we've got plenty of tractor stories to do. There's some really good ones going up. There's a couple of auction retirements too we're gonna do, which I'm really excited about. Really cool, older stuff. But we've got a health thing with some family that we've been dealing with the last 2 weeks here, especially. And it's been pretty busy and hectic in our lives, and I guess I could have done a tractor story today instead of this, but it's spring break, and I said I was going to take her down to a livestock auction, and I guess that was more important than shooting the tractor story. So I thought, well, what if we can make a video out of this instead? Because she didn't get the spring break I think she was hoping for, and I think, does this help make it a lot better? Yeah. So we had a good day doing this, and you know, that's just as good as a tractor story sometime. But yeah, there's some about that, going to watching an auction and with livestock, and you know, all the pickups and trailers and semis, you know, hauling cattle. It's fun. They got a good cafe, you know, which it's Friday, it's Lent, so can't eat much. But I had some French fries, which was really good. So, yeah, I enjoyed today. We're this cattle thing is pretty fun. So, like I said, I'll probably throw up the TikTok that shows us stopping in a couple other places along the way. But yeah, I hope you guys like this one. I've got some great tractor stories coming up. Just man, the last 2 weeks, I'm lucky I was able to get the one done last week with Justin. We've got some family that live a long ways away, and trying to handle all this has been tough, I would say. So we did this, and I hope you guys enjoy it. We had a blizzard too, which that was fun, cleaning up that. But yeah, this is a lot of farm history too, documenting the where cattle went and that part of our area, which I mean, well, maybe I'll do that. I'll show you guys the new grain receiving area that they just built. And when I make these videos and I talk about the dairy going away, I'll show you why. Here. All right, we're just pulling down onto this road. And when you look at the size of this grain setup that has, it's not hard to see where all the dairy cattle went when you look at this grain facility. And we always had the river right here, so we're on the Wisconsin side of the river, but even the river terminal has expanded, and this is all brand new. So this, you look at this, like, wow, versus dairy. Yeah. How many acres do you think that has? That's a lot of bushels. So, yeah. So this is just opening here. It's supposed to be this month, so we're gonna not have to cross the river, supposedly to get a great price, but we'll see. So, well, anyways, we're gonna go get some feed, and I don't know, maybe I'll show you guys the heifers one more time. We got heifer next, that one. So, all right.